In a giant sea of cool podcasts, finally comes a review show that kicks the cool to the curb. Welcome to Kick the Cool, everyone. I am your big little brother, Tone.
And I'm your little brother, Wopsle.
I'm your big sister, Shishi.
And this is where we give you the reviews you did not know you needed. And as usual, what's up, my nerds?
What's up, my nerds?
What's up?
Oh, I licked my pop filter on accident, sticking my tongue out.
Oh, no. You licked your pop filter.
On accident, not on purpose.
Guys, I'm going to get right to it. I got a memo we have a producer. His name is Carl, and we call him Cool Carl. And he wants us, he sent me a memo the other day, and he wants us to connect with our audience more. So he gave me a list of questions to try to let the audience know more who we are.
Okay.
So I'll just go through these questions, and Cool Carl, he always gets what he wants.
I was going to say, he's kind of annoying, but I mean, what can you do?
What can you do?
When the suits hand something down, you just kind of go through it.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
Yeah.
So first off, in what area do you have the most knowledge? In what area are you most knowledgeable?
Probably my foot.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's the area where I keep my knowledge.
Yeah, your smart foot.
Right.
Google.
Okay, we are really. I mean, people are going to really know who we are. Okay, next question: Will you cause a wreck and/or traffic jam to avoid hitting a turtle on the road?
Yes.
I agree. I will
don't
too.
even have to think about that one. I will kill people to save that turtle.
I will run smooth off the road into a tree to save the turtle.
Yep.
I was going to say, I will wreck, definitely. But when there's other cars or people involved, well, then, I don't know, I would just freeze. I like to do the thing in lots of things in life, not only driving, but just like big decisions, where I just put my hands on the wheel and close my eyes and hope that it turns out okay.
Yeah,
like
Jesus,
that.
take the wheel. Yeah.
Jesus, take the wheel. Okay, next. Have you ever solved a Rubik's Cube? This is really helping people.
I've got one of those 2x2s that I can solve without YouTube. So.
That's nice.
Yeah. How about you, Tone?
I have never solved one. Well, I did once. I took the stickers off and re-put them on.
Have you never followed the Rubik's Cube comes with the patterns that you can follow? I had those memorized for a while. I couldn't do it now, but for a while I was solving them all day every day. So.
Wow. Okay. People know us. You see? Okay.
But that's the thing about Rubik's Cubes. No one's ever just solved it once and then went on about their life. Because once you learn those things, you've solved it either 0 times or 200 times.
That's right. Yeah. Right. You don't put it, throw it in the trash. I'm done with that.
Done.
Remember we used to pop it all apart? Like we used to take the cubes off of the bigger cube and stick them back on. Not just the stickers, but like the actual little cubes.
The plastic. Yeah. I remember that. Next question. Will you stop clogging up the toilet in the lobby bathroom, please? Wait. Oh, that's just for me. That's a question for me. He must have gotten his lists mixed up. Next question. Have you ever put your own hair in your mouth on purpose?
Yes.
Yes, I have.
Every day. Every hour, every minute. That's where it just sits. Like I run my hands through my hair. This is my bad habit. And then if I need to do something else with my left hand, I put it in my mouth to hold it until I'm ready to play with it again. And it just sits there. I'll be typing with hair in my mouth.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. That's a funny question. You've been spying on me.
I know.
If you guys remember my freshman year in college, I had like a big lion's mane of a beard. You remember how big my beard got there for a while?
Oh, yeah.
And then my hair got really long too. And so I would put my beard in my mouth, which was kind of weird, but like it's pretty satisfying hair to have in your mouth. But then my bangs got long enough where I could put them in my mouth at the same time. And so
oh, wow.
I found myself walking around my college campus with my beard in my mouth and my bangs in my mouth.
Were you like, so did you fold your bangs down and your beard up so that your face was completely covered?
I mean, kind of, but like not my whole beard was in my mouth. It would be like, like a dime-sized quaff from the right side of my chin into my mouth. And then the bangs would maybe come down the left side. So it was like super like My Chemical Romance emo over my eye,
Right.
So it was kind of like
a very Chris Gaines.
I was going to say it was like a Mo Betta shirt. It was like a Mo Betta shirt on my face with hair and skin and stuff. But it was like, I couldn't not do it. So I'm sure I was just that kid on the college campus. Man, it was a rough year.
The hair in the mouth. Okay, the next question just says horses. Horses question mark. I'm going to say yes.
They exist. Yes.
They are.
Confirmed.
Real. Confirmed.
Yes.
Okay. Next question. What about the show New Girl?
Yes, while I was watching it, not as much now.
Oh, see, I actually did the flip-flop of that. I was cool with it while it was on, but now revisiting it, I'm in love with it.
Oh, really?
Since the first season it came out, we watch at least an episode a week. So for 10 years now, we've watched it very regularly. We love it so much.
Maybe I should revisit it because I'm just remembering back. I haven't watched any since it went off the air. So, yeah, maybe I should watch it again.
It's so good.
Right.
Everybody that's slightly awkward, especially men, any man that's slightly awkward in life can just like everything Nick does, you just feel it. And you just that's exactly me in my life. It's just comforting to see that.
Yep.
Is it weird to say that I also identified with Nick?
Well, I was going to say that I feel like you would have, but I wasn't sure.
You didn't want to put me in that box if I wasn't willing to be there.
But I thought you should be there.
We all identify with Nick.
We do.
Yeah. Okay, can you please stop quoting / doing reenactments of scenes from the American show The Office? That's just for me again. That's just for me again.
Hey, that's from The Office. When on The Office, they were quoting from Fonzie.
Oh, well, and we already did one earlier when we did the What's Up.
Right.
That's from The Office.
It is from the episode 1, the pilot. Yeah.
Okay, guys, enough of that. We, I think that we really, really help people, and now everyone knows who we are.
Our viewers have a very good picture of who we are. If they haven't, up to this point, figured it out, we just showed them who we are.
Laid it out.
Yeah.
That Rubik's Cube question
exactly.
was the most important one, I think.
I mean, I thought that the clogging up of the toilet in the lobby bathroom, I thought that was pretty important too, but
we're just pretending like that didn't happen. So that was on the wrong list. Yeah.
That's right. That was on the wrong list.
And as HR representative, I can't tell you who reported that or complained about it.
Right.
So.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get to where we really help people even more, and we do that by giving you reviews of the most important topics known to man. Wobsle, what are you going to review for us this week?
Well, we start off with listener submission every single week, and so thank you for continuing to send those in. Today, we're going to go with a submission from a buddy, James, from down in Duncan, Oklahoma. We actually have quite a few listeners in Duncan, so a quick shout out to down there.
Yeah,
what up, Duncan?
Woo!
Yeah.
What up?
He wanted us to review college syllabuses. Syllabi. I think it might be syllabi.
Syllabi?
I think he made it. I do think it's syllabi. And so I want to review those, but specifically, I kind of want to talk maybe about like the first day or the first week of a class or something like that, because that's when you get the syllabus. So kind of whatever is wrapped up to you kind of in that initial contact with your class, but maybe honing in on the syllabus as James has requested. So what do you think about college syllabi?
Don't you just really appreciate a syllabus that can be used as a reference throughout the semester? And it's not just the professor saying, here's what I expect from you in a broad term, but like, here's the due dates, here's the chapters, here, this, you're going to need this many notebooks and all of that.
Yeah, a good
so
syllabus
helpful.
Can change your entire experience of that class.
Yeah.
Like it can really do, work magic.
It can also work against you though. because if you don't do something, he can always point to the syllabus and say it was in the syllabus. And you can't say, you never told us that, because it's in the syllabus.
Yeah, it has been weaponized against me more often than it has helped me. I can promise you that.
That's right. Same here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never was very good about, I don't know, doing things right when it came to my brief experience in college. But definitely, I heard more than once, it's in the syllabus. And I was like, what?
What's a syllabus?
What's that?
A silly bus? I don't understand.
Oh, it's a silly bus.
Like, I've been wandering around campus every night looking for the silly bus, and you said everything's on there. What I think, we all went to small high schools kind of, and we're so used to everyone involved holding our hand every step of the way that anybody trying to equip me to succeed on my own merits was actually setting me up to fail, is what they were actually doing. Oh. I never made it past week 1 with a syllabus. I just immediately threw it out and was like, I assume it'll be fine. I kind of did this thing where I held onto the wheel and I closed my eyes and just assumed everything was going to be okay.
Oh, yeah, I don't do that.
Right.
I don't do that.
I don't do either one. I both don't read the syllabus, and I don't imagine that it will be okay. I just yeah.
You just put it gently out of your mind and continue with what you were doing.
Right. And assume that it's all going to go badly.
Yes. Yes. Well, can you remember a time, or maybe even can you think of what on a syllabus would really make you second guess getting to this point in your life where you've signed up for this class and are now taking it?
Wow.
Really looking at your decisions.
I think probably if there's a long list of suggested reading, and you're not sure if that professor's going to expect you to read the suggested reading, or if that's just really actually a suggestion. That and
right.
then you're like, I don't even want to, but I need to know one way or the other.
We do need 2 columns, don't we? We need suggested reading and required reading, and
yes.
I need to know the difference.
Sometimes they have that, but if they don't,
yeah. That's a great point, because so often they're like, I suggest you read this. And they mean you need to read this if you want to get a good grade.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
And you have a test on it, and you're like, what? I thought you were just suggesting it. Did I go back and watch New Girl again? I didn't know you were saying it was going to be a quiz.
Yes.
That's a great point. What about you, Tone? What would scare you on a syllabus, or what would turn you off?
Attendance.
Oh, yeah.
That's if they mention the attendance is going to be in any way strict, or even just not incredibly lax, then I'm really upset.
The inverse of that is great, where the syllabus just plainly states we're not going to care too much about attendance, so you can do so.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Just come in and
That's
take
the
your
best.
tests, and you're good.
Come in once in a while and check in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is kind of the worst, because if you have that option, you're going to exercise that option, and usually you should have gone to class.
Yeah, yeah.
And can I just point out, as a person who went to school right after high school 30 years ago, and then I went recently and graduated in 2015 with my bachelor's degree, and it's the second time I went online. I was fully online except for a few tests that I had to go to campus to take. But it's a different world with regard to syllabi, because when you're online, they have to tell you exactly what's going to happen. They can't announce things in class because there's no class. So they have to have it up front beforehand. And I really liked that. I enjoyed my time in my virtual classes probably better than my actual classes 30 years ago.
Yeah, that makes sense. That really makes sense.
Yeah, it does play to your strengths.
Yes.
And I am taking some online classes currently, not for a degree, just to kind of further myself, I guess. I don't know. It
Like you
sucks,
didn't
but
have
I'm doing
enough to do. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you weren't busy at all.
And that's all online too, of course. And it's let's just say it's not going well. It is a struggle.
Oh,
I didn't find the silly bus. I did find the struggle bus, and that's where I'm living. So,
Yeah.
but it's fine.
The struggle bus.
Well, I liked math in high school, and I was pretty good at it. So my freshman year of college, we've talked about that a lot today, I guess. But my very first semester, I was just a math major. Didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just a declared math major. And I had an 8 a.m. calculus class.
Oh, man. Those 8 a.m. classes. Oh.
Right. And it was calculus. And the syllabus was just like, it was a lot of math, y'all. Which, looking back, I should have expected.
You were like, I can add. I'm going to be a math major.
I took all the AP math classes in high school, and I really did. Now, I was all taught by coaches at Preg High School, but still,
right.
I felt like I knew math pretty well. And I was just like, I mean, just because I like Sudoku doesn't need to mean I need to take calculus 8 a.m. my freshman year of college. So it was literally syllabus day was my only day in that class, and I just said nope. Right.
Well, I think that part of why I had such a brief stint in college is because, like, I went straight from high school to college. So I was already burned way out by the time I got graduated. I was burned out. So I go to my counselor because I was in like what in high school you would call gifted and talented, right? At the University of Oklahoma. And so I was in like an elevated thing. And so I go to this counselor, and she says, okay, here's what I suggest you take. And I didn't know what was what. So there was a number down at the bottom once you add up all these little numbers, and it was 24.
What?
She had you enroll in 24 credit
hours? Yes.
What?
And I did not know what that meant. And I was like, cool, you suggested it. I agree. It was either 22 or 24.
That was a mistake. I can't imagine that she would have done that on purpose.
We sat there and talked about it. She was like, you're going to take stagecraft and you're going to take this. And, she went through every class that I was going to take.
You were just in this accelerated group. And so they, were going to.
She thought, he can handle it. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. When you're were you a musical theater major?
Yes.
Okay, so I was also a musical theater major, and 18 credit hours was what you had to take to graduate on time because there were so many little classes that they thought were only an hour here and there, and they were like just time, and it wasn't that hard, and you didn't have to study for them. But that meant you had to spend all of your time doing that. So maybe that was the kind of thing she was thinking. Maybe these weren't hard classes, so you could take more of them. But that's that's a lot, man.
That's wild.
And the syllabus wouldn't help you in that situation.
That's right.
You have 10 syllabi, 10 different syllabi you're shuffling through in college is not good.
Right. One good thing that did come out of that was my understanding. She said she put me in a math class that my math was so terrible that I had to go back and take pre-college courses, right? Yeah, just to get up to the zero level. So I did not like the class, and I went to her and I said, "This is really hard. I am not good at math, and this is really hard." And she goes, "Oh, well, you're an actor, right?" And I said, "Yeah." She said, "We'll just put you in actor's math."
Yeah.
And I was like,
nice.
"What?
Yeah.
What? There's a thing called that?" And she was like, "Yeah, like all the actors take this." And it was mathematics for critical thinking, and it was the easiest class I've ever seen in my life. It was awesome.
We had one like that in our group, but it was dance major math. If you were a dance major, you took the special math.
Right.
No, it's interesting how many similarities we have that I don't think about till we get on this podcast. Like last week, we talked about that we have all been the front man in a band, and probably it's not very common for a family to have that in common.
Right.
And I wasn't a musical theater major, but I was a music major. After I was a math major, I switched over to music. So, but it was more like marching band kind of stuff. But I had 2 classes on my thing that were 0-hour classes. So one was like you had to show up to recital to hear people play and sing and do crap like that.
Oh yes, yeah.
And so
they had that,
and that took up time. And then I had another one that was like my practice of my own personal instrument. I had to schedule it, but it was for 0 hours. And so that was so frustrating. It's like, these things are taking up my time, but
I get no
but
credit.
I get no credit for it. And so the 0 hour on a syllabus is probably one of the most frustrating things, actually. So
I would love to read the syllabus for that class. That's a 0 hour class. I would like to see the syllabus.
Well, guess what? I didn't have it after the first week, so I can't offer you
Right.
mine.
He just gripped the wheel and closed his eyes.
Jesus, read the syllabus for me.
Oh, man.
That was funny.
I'm so stupid.
Well, let's rate college syllabi for James and his son who's in college, but also for the entire world to help them so much. Shishi, what do you rate college syllabi?
I rate college syllabi 8 for my 8 a.m. music history class that had a syllabus, but it wouldn't have mattered because I slept through it anyway. So
Right. That's an 8 is the rating.
it's an
Okay.
8.
Yeah.
Yes, 8.
Okay, 8 for 8 a.m. Tone, what do you rate college syllabi?
I have to give college syllabi a 22 or 24 out of 100. I can't remember which one it was, but I give it that low rating.
That is pretty low. It's high for hours. It's low for a rating.
Yes.
So, well, I didn't do well with the syllabuses. Didn't really do that well in school, period. But I think I will rate the only good words I ever read on a syllabus, and it's the words pass, fail.
Oh, yeah.
The
nice.
greatest surprise that I've often found, showing up thinking I was taking it for a grade, and then learning I wasn't. What a great gift that is.
I love it.
I
love it.
hated pass fail classes because I was like, I'm doing all this work. I need to get credit for it all. That Yahoo over there hasn't been to class in a month. He's going to pass.
Meanwhile, I'm the Yahoo just over there chewing on
You're
my
the
beard
Yahoo.
like, pass, fail, sweet.
I like the image of having you've combed your hair all the way down over your eyes and stuck it in your mouth. You've combed your beard all the way up over your chin and
Yep.
stuck it in your mouth, and now you're just a wall of hair. That is hilarious.
It's the Wookiee. It's a real Wookiee look
Yeah.
that I went for. All right. Well, hey, James, thank you again for that submission.
Thank you, James.
Thank you, James. That was a really fun, unexpectedly fun topic.
Okay, that was a great topic. Thank you, James. And next, we're going to go to Shishi. What are you going to review for us today, Shi?
Well, I went to the dentist yesterday, so I thought I might review that.
Ooh.
The dentist.
Mhm.
You know, I think that I have a weird thing going on with the dentist, okay? And it one of my earliest memories of the dentist, because I did not go to this place called the dentist office. I never went.
No, I don't
So-
think we ever went as children.
Mm-mm.
No. And so, so my first real experience with dentists was Steve Martin in the movie Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes.
Yep.
And so I don't know if you remember, fans, but he was a very sadistic, horrible person that just loved to inflict pain on everything, and that meant he found his true calling to be a dentist. And so I did not understand. I still don't understand why everyone is scared of the dentist. Why is that a thing?
Like, I think it's because of fiction. Really,
Right.
I don't think too
It's
many
because
people
of Little
have.
Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, I don't think too many people have bad experiences at the dentist. But even think about like Finding Nemo. That's a relatively new movie, and there's that shot at the dentist of the waiting room and people waiting to go in, and they can hear the screaming behind the door. And that's
Right.
the only version of a dentist you see growing up. And then one day you're in that same waiting room, that same situation, and you're like, uh-oh.
Guys,
Right.
I have to say, I understand that. I understand the fear because you're lucky if you haven't had pain at the dentist, you're lucky. I think. When I had, guys. Okay, so that screaming behind the door could have been me very easily, only I clenched it
Oh,
down
no.
and I
Nice.
just cried the whole time instead. The dentist
Oh,
had
wow.
to be, like a foot away from my face, watching tears stream out of my eyes. And I know I felt so bad while it was happening because I didn't want to make him feel bad, but it freaked
Right.
out. And there wasn't anything he could do about it. Like he had just had to get it done, So I
Yeah.
get it. But,
Wow.
I actually kind of like going to the dentist now. Even if that bad experience, if I'd had 3 of those in a row, that would have been too bad. But now that is over with, I have just been getting cleanings. I haven't had a cavity in several years. Everything's great. I kind of like it. I like somebody rooting around in my mouth. I don't know why. I know that's really weird, but I can't help it.
Right.
I like it.
It's a good thing, and it's hard to get someone to do that other than going to the dentist.
Yeah, as a favor, it's not usually something that works.
What date can you ask that on? So
Yeah.
hey, man, we're getting pretty serious.
Even your significant other wouldn't really want to root around in your mouth like that. I mean, but
Yeah,
and the
no.
thing is, so like you're under this light, it's warm. You have your hygienist on one side, you have your dentist on the other side, and they're all. When do you get that kind of attention? Really?
Right.
When
right.
where you're gonna have 2 people completely focused on you like
It's
that?
like a
It makes me
spa.
uncomfortable.
It's like a spa situation, but like
yeah,
Right.
yeah, a spa for your teeth.
A mouth spa.
It's like a
a
mouth
mouth
spa.
Yeah.
spa.
Now it's not all roses for me at the dentist. I do have some issues. Like inevitably halfway through, I gotta pee. And I can
Right.
decide to either hold it or I can interrupt everybody's day and get up and go pee. So I'm nervous about that.
Now, I've never
Then-
interrupted. Have you interrupted them? Are you allowed to do that?
I have had to interrupt them before. Yes, because it was
Oh.
an emergency. I had some things going on and it was an emergency, and they weren't actually, the dentist wasn't in there, but I did have to have them take me off the nitrous oxide, and I had to let it get out of my system, and then I had to
Oh.
go to the bathroom, come back. They had to hook me back up on the nitrous. So yeah, I do everything I can to avoid that situation, and it's not as hard
that's
now.
right.
sad.
Now, I also have really bad sinuses, as everyone knows. And so there's always this point where when they lay me backwards, I'm okay until they go 2 notches more. And then I'm upside down. And then I
Mhm.
can't breathe through my nose. They're in my mouth. So
Right.
I'm breathing through my
Which is
mouth.
bad. That's already bad because that's where all this stuff is happening.
That's
You
where
don't
all
want
this
to breathe
stuff
it all
is
in.
happening.
Yeah, you need to be able to breathe through your nose for sure.
Yeah. So I will say that going to the dentist on a regular basis, which like you said, we never did as kids. So we didn't learn how to spit. We didn't learn when do they, when do things happen and when can I say something and when,
Right.
so I had to
Right.
learn all that. Like if it's hurting, I can wave my hand and they'll stop. Oh, they will? Yeah. I tried it and it works. So
Oh, I didn't even know that.
they are not on a train bound for Pain Town. They will stop when you ask them to stop.
See, I tried to tap out. I just tapped out. And
And that didn't work. Well, you need a new dentist.
that didn't work.
So, growing up, I actually did go to the dentist one time when I was 10 years old. That's the only time before I went again when I was 20. And so somehow, sometimes our health insurance stuff was kind of streaky, I feel like. Like all of a sudden
Yes.
we'd have it for 6 months and then we wouldn't. And so I think we had insurance all of a sudden to go to the dentist. And so I went and I had a tooth that just kind of, I don't know. I've never had a cavity. So I don't think it was a cavity. It just kind of stopped toothing. It just kind of became like,
Oh, yeah.
just kind of became like nerds one day or something instead. And so, but it was a baby tooth. And so it was just trying to get out of there, but it wasn't doing a good job getting out of there because you couldn't pull it because it was all nerds. And so the dentist was like, hey, I need to go in there and get all these little pieces of the tooth out. And I was just like, again, I was scared of the dentist because, we watched Little Shop a lot growing up.
We did. We did.
And so I'm just in here and he's like, okay, I'm going to have to pull out some of these pieces in there. And I'm just like, don't seem like, so I was the kid behind the door screaming, not because I was getting hurt. He wasn't touching me, but he was trying to just get me to sit me down. And I was like crawling up the walls and yelling and like
man.
elbowing mom in the
Oh.
straight up nose to make sure like this is not happening. And then at the end of the time, I'd be like probably 10 minutes of this poor dentist wrestling me. He just looked at my mom and he was like, hey, you know what? It'll probably be fine for a little while. How about you guys come
Yeah,
back
I
in a month or
remember
so?
that. I
And
actually
so-
remember that. Yeah.
Do you really? Yeah. And so
Yeah.
so then I walked out of there and my only knowledge of dentists was they're sadistic and they are hell bent on causing pain. And I won. He didn't cause me an ounce of pain. And I walked out of that thinking I was the biggest baller ever. We never went back to him or any other dentist. And my teeth are still jacked up because that one baby tooth messed up my whole situation. But I still feel kind of victory about that. So I'm pretty pumped that I won that round.
Right. Well,
it's funny the mixture of how sadistic they are, but also how flip floppy they are. They're like, never mind. Never mind.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think I remember this. So I think that the deal was your baby tooth was rotting.
Yes.
And then Mom was like, God, we got to get that out of there. And everything else was fine. Like all your other teeth were fine. That one was just decayed. So they were going to take it out. But he was like, you know what? It's the baby tooth. I don't think it's not going to spread to the teeth around. As long as you keep everything clean now, it should be fine. And so that rotten tooth fell out and your baby grown up tooth came in and everything was fine. So
but
we didn't know that was going to be fine. Like it could have been infected, I guess, at some point. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, it was your baby tooth, so it was okay.
But I'm telling you,
was it though?
It didn't come out as tooth. It came out over the course of about 4 weeks in different little pieces.
Yes.
Right.
It was shards.
It was decayed. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
You were almost doing oral surgery on yourself.
Right. I became dentist. Is what happened.
Right. I have now become dentist, destroyer of worlds,
Destroyer of teeth.
I can feel the power.
And little boys' self-confidence.
Destroyer of nerds.
Well, I did go to the dentist one time. I just remembered. I didn't get my first tooth until I was like a year and a half old or something. And actually, my oldest child did the same thing. And apparently, my teeth are just naturally very good because I went all this time without going to the dentist until I was like 42. I finally started going to the dentist regularly.
Right.
Because I had problems. And then I was like, oh gosh, I got to quit. But anyway, when I was 15, I lost a tooth at Kolachi, the Kolachi Festival.
No.
I was sitting with my friends in a booth at Save-A-Stop and my tooth came out. So I went to the bathroom, and I was like, right. So I kept it in my pocket and I went home and Mom put it in a cup of milk because she heard that will save a tooth, if they need to reimplant it. And we went to
And
the
is
dentist.
that our official stance as a podcast? I think we'll go ahead
you
and
need
say
to get advice
that's
from
true.
your healthcare provider on that.
Of course you would say that. Or HR lady.
Or put it in milk, grip the wheel, close your eyes, and hope for the best.
I think that's how Mom operates
That's
too.
right.
So we went to the dentist and they did an x-ray and they were like, that was her last baby tooth. So I didn't lose my final baby tooth out of my head until I was 15 years old.
Wow.
That's wild.
Tone, what do you rate the dentist?
Okay, I'm going to rate the dentist. They're not as bad as everybody says, in my opinion.
No.
It does suck. Yeah, it sucks. But it's not like horrifying. It's not horrific. So, like everybody acts. So I'm gonna rate it right down the middle. 5 out of 10 puffs on the nitrous oxide.
Oh, if we're going puffs on the nitrous oxide, let's make it 40 or so. Because that stuff is awesome.
I said earlier there's only one depiction of a dentist, and that's the waiting room in media. But there's the other one where the dentist is sitting there and he puffs his own oxide, the nitrous oxide first.
Yeah,
And he's like, oh, wait, you want some too? That's the other one.
That's why I want to be a dentist.
That happened on Seinfeld. That happened on 30 Rock. The guy getting his own nitrous and then...
Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
So, Wapsel, what do you rate going to the dentist?
You know how at the dentist... So I'm actually pretty close with my dental hygienist. Like she's someone that I know and we have some things in common. And so she always asks me about things in my life in the middle of the exam.
Right.
So I will rate the dentist. Well, I hate how I quit.
And she probably understands every syllable.
She probably does.
Right, because she's so trained in that.
Yeah.
I bet she has a hard time understanding when people talk without things in their mouth.
Right. She's like, kids, only talk with your mouth full at the dinner table. You know I can't understand you.
Right. Would you please
Otherwise-
take a bite before you start talking? I've asked you several times, kid.
Oh, man.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to rate going to the dentist. I did it again, you guys. I didn't think of something beforehand. I thought it would come to me as I spoke.
Hey, did you get tooth fairy money for that baby tooth you lost when you were 15?
Oh, great question.
I
Because
think that.
you're obligated for tooth fairy money for baby teeth.
Ooh,
That's
that's
right.
my rating. Hold on. Yes, that's perfect.
Okay.
That's perfect. Thank you for that. Okay. Okay, so like you said, Wopsle, I never got paid by the tooth fairy. So I'm going to, for that tooth that I lost when I was 15. So I'm going to rate the dentist $50, which is about how much it would be now after all the interest and compounded and all of that. So for the tooth fairy owes me $50 now.
See,
so.
tooth fairy, you should have paid up. You should have paid up from the get-go because it's going to cost you now.
The juice has been running the whole time. All right. For this week for our 5-star review, it's a big company. Everybody goes there. I don't know why they're advertising with us, but apparently they are. This week's 5-star review is Walmart.
Oh, hey.
So
Good job.
I mean, they want us. They didn't say that they wanted us to talk about anything specific. They just said, "Hey, just talk about us for just like less than 1 minute."
Did
And I
they
said,
say
"Okay,
that?
we can do that." Yeah.
Okay.
Talk about us for less than 1 minute, and we'll be happy. Because I don't know how much we're actually getting paid for this sponsorship. It might not be anything.
We might not be.
I'm not
paid
sure.
anything. Who
Well,
knows?
I like that, we're mentioning podcasts that we like to try to help them get off the ground, or we mention our mugs so people can kind of help us, invest back in our podcast. And then we're talking about Walmart too, because they're hurting. They're just
they
trying
need all
to
the help
make it
they
in the
can
world.
get.
They really need some help.
Yeah, you're exactly right. We're here to help. Not only do we help the listener, we help everyone in the world. We help companies, as you know, because of Citizens United. Corporations are people too. So they need help just like everybody else.
Yes.
Thank you,
We help
Walmart.
Thanks, Walmart.
Hey, let me tell you one thing about Walmart I thought about today, because before we got on this podcast, we went to Walmart and did the grocery pickup where you pull up and they just load up your car.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when I realized that someone got paid to go shopping for us. And so, and the amount that everyone's doing that right now with the pandemic, there's someone whose full-time job is they show up at Walmart, clock in, and just shop for 8 hours.
Just shop till they drop.
And if you go into Walmart, I still go in and you can watch them with their big old carts with the different tubs on there, and they are just going down the aisles getting stuff.
Now, what's cool is they know where everything's at, right?
Yes.
So their shopping trips are way different from a normal person because normally you're like, I wonder which aisle the blah, blah, blah is on,
And don't you dare ask an employee which aisle the bread is on. You just wander back and forth and end up in the tires and then wonder how you got there.
That's right.
You don't
ask
dare
anyone.
ask someone that knows. Cool. Well, thanks,
right.
Walmart.
Well, thanks, Walmart. Nice doing business with you. All right, guys. For our final review this week, I'm gonna take us home, and this is gonna be a weird one. I think we'll see. But this week I want to review helping, the act of helping.
I don't think that's a weird topic. I think it's awesome.
Cool. Well, I
Great
love
topic.
helping. So
Yeah.
Well, and it's with Thanksgiving have just passed. It's also topical for like a second
It
helping.
is? Oh.
Oh.
Right.
There
Gotcha.
it is. There it is.
All right, topic over.
Hey, yeah. Bye-bye.
What's funny is
Derailed
when I
and
was doing
crashed
when I was doing a little bit of research for this, it was like I typed in helping into a Bing search, and the main thing they wanted to talk about was that helping of food. That's what they wanted to talk about.
That's funny. That would
the
never
first
have
thing that I
even
thought
occurred
of.
to me.
I know.
We're so very
Oh
different.
man, we are. But on the real, I do love helping. I think helping makes the world go round. I think helping helps other people, but like that's the least like important thing, sort of, in my opinion. Like helping gets you up and out, get you in a better mood. It helps
Yeah.
your perspective get off of your own problems and kind of onto that there's a bigger world out there. I think the self benefit to helping like kind of outweighs the actual helping.
Yeah, it's weird that it's kind of like a selfish thing to do because it's one of the best things you can do for yourself.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah. So I have two things that came to mind when you said helping. The first thing I thought of was Phoebe Buffay on Friends trying to help someone and do it selflessly. Like they're saying there are no selfless acts. And so she was trying to do selfless acts and everything was coming back around and benefiting her. And it was the whole episode. The
Yeah.
Oh.
second, yeah, it was a pretty funny one. The second thing I thought of was my kids helping. Do you hear the air quotes happening?
Yes.
With the dishes and laundry.
Ah.
Mhm.
What else are you going to do with a little kid that wants to throw your laundry around? You just set them there and give them a wash rag to
Let 'em
fold,
help.
and then you refold that.
Right. Right. Well, I found something really interesting online. So I went to the Merriam-Webster website, which is, a dictionary. And I just, was just clicking around, looking at stuff, trying to find what would catch my attention about this concept of helping. And I did find synonyms and antonyms of helping. And so
Oh.
I want to just talk about the synonyms. I find this to be weird. Maybe you guys can explain to me why it's not weird. The first synonym is aiding. And I agree with that. That's very good. Aiding.
Mm-hmm.
The second synonym is computerized. What? What?
Okay.
Help. A synonym of helping is computerized. I don't get it.
Are they talking about AI or like, digital assistants or? Huh. That's weird.
Then
That's
the
out
next
there.
one, the next one is easing / relieving. And I
Yeah.
agree.
Okay.
Good
Yes.
job, Merriam-Webster. Until the next one, which is mechanical, motorized, non-manual. Those are synonyms for helping.
Okay, so this is something that is not in our knowledge areas. Like, Wopsle would be pulling his knowledge out of his foot right now if he knew what that was.
Right,
This is
right.
something that none of us know about. I've got to dive into that later. That's
I
weird.
think that it's proof that the singularity has already happened.
Yeah.
And the computers are
Our
trying to get
computer
in where they fit
overlord.
in.
Our computer overlords are trying to ease us into the idea of them being our helpers.
That's right.
Yeah,
Right.
did you dive any more into did like a lot of the positive words on Merriam-Webster's website just have like computers randomly put in there? It's like
Right.
it's like the synonym for
Yeah.
goodwill.
Yeah,
Computer lords.
Computers.
Computer lords.
They're just sneaking them
taking
in there.
over. Well, and so then I this is the last thing I'll read off of this. But the next one is time saving. Yeah, sure, helping is time saving, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then the next list says, I'll do these rapid fire. Automated, automatic, labor saving, robotic, self-acting, self-operating, self-regulating.
Wow.
The computers are taking over. I guarantee you, everything I look for on Merriam-Webster is going to say something about how good robots are.
Wow.
And I get that they're trying to say like that the thing itself is self-regulate, but I would say helping is like the least self thing. Helping is all about others. So
Right.
there's so many synonyms with self in the title. It's just kind of way off base. Like, no.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they're telling me a synonym of helping is self-acting. No,
No, that's
that's the opposite.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay, so here's the
Whoa.
true test. If you look at the antonyms for helping and you see flesh people or your parents or
meat
Car-
bags.
Carbon-based.
Carbon based.
then you know they're trying to shift the conversation.
Oh, that's pretty good, man. That's pretty good.
Wow.
All right. Well, Wapsel, what do you rate helping?
Well, hey guys, go ahead and turn off the podcast real quick. I feel kind of weird about it because I have feelings about helping, but I also kind of think that, like, they're obviously onto us. Like, they know you Googled that and they're listening.
That's
to this
right.
podcast.
That's right. They
Mhm.
can't hear us when we talk quiet, though.
Right. Well, yeah, because I mean, this is the podcast. This is just us kind of saying. So, like, you guys know, like, that this is, I'm kind of, this is how I feel, but I want to rate it to make sure that I make the people.
I think we all need
robots
to
happy.
do this.
Yes.
I think we all need to do
you're
that.
right. Yeah, we need to get in on the ground floor. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I do love helping, and when I think about helping, I think about this. I think about ones and zeros, zeros and ones, like total binary from here to the moon.
Yes. That's what we all think about.
Yes. When I think of helping, I think of ones and zeros.
All right.
Okay.
Shishi, what do you rate helping?
Yeah, with helping, I'd go directly to our helpful electronic devices.
Mhm.
Our
Oh, yeah.
helpful our helpful, what's the name of that big computer that
Johnny
I
Five?
messed it up. What?
Yes. That is one possible
Yes.
answer for sure.
Okay. I
Yeah.
don't know what that is, but yes.
Short Circuit, the movie Short Circuit.
Sure. I think of all of these really helpful robots and how little people actually help me. So
Mhm.
I am going to
Mhm.
rate helping Watson.
Oh, yes.
So
That's
helpful.
The name
So
I couldn't
helpful.
remember. Yeah.
We pretend like we're helping people on this podcast, but we will never be a Watson.
That's
That's the definition of
No.
helping.
That's right.
That's right. He really is. He really is. Well, I am going to rate helping. I've never actually helped anyone when it did not include some sort of technology.
Mhm.
I don't actually think it's possible to help anyone and not include some elevated level of technology.
Yes.
Right.
So, I'm just gonna keep it simple. This is the way I feel. This is just the way I feel. I'm gonna rate it. No more meat bags. All you meat bags out there? No.
No.
Down
No
with
more.
meat bags.
All right,
I
guys.
welcome our new overlords.
Yay!
Yes.
Yay! Our new overlords! Yay! Another plot line, another subplot in the movie Kick the Cool.
In fact, that just might be straight up the sequel we might have just found.
Right. The first one's all about ghosts and haunted things, and the
mhm.
second one is definitely about our meat bags and our overlords.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's gonna do it for us this week, guys.
Yeah, hey, if you have any review ideas, we would love to hear from you at reviews@kick.cool. Just send that email over or find us on social media, just like James did today. Thanks again, James, for your idea. And we look forward to hearing some more from the rest of you.
Definitely. Thanks, James. And we also want to give a big shout out and thank you to the band Bugs for letting us use the song Reviews as our theme song. That is on the 2017 album Self Help. And I highly recommend you go buy that album and go like their Facebook page.
Hey, did you guys listen to that new song they released last week?
I did not.
It's
Did you hear it?
so very punk rock. It is like...
Ooh.
It's like what you tried to write when you were high on Green Day in like 98 is what it feels like to me.
Yes.
It's just like
cool.
fast and fun and punk rock, and I recommend it. Maybe we'll share it on our page this week. It's on Spotify, though.
Nice.
so you can find
Definitely.
it.
Definitely.
Okay. Follow us at Kick the Cool on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
All right. Well, we will see you next week. I'm Tone.
I'm Wop.
I'm She.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. I love you guys. I love you.
more.
Bye.
I feel like the last 10 minutes starting the podcast.
At 10 minutes after 10, I woke up from a dead sleep to go, what's happening? What's on my phone? Oh no! Here we go. I don't know what I'm doing, but I gotta get it done. Oh boy.
So you were
This is
awake the whole
crazy.
time.
I had 100 things I need to do. No, I was like, I'm not awake yet, is the point. We didn't even mention that it was a morning recording sesh.
I
should have mentioned that.
It's a good thing you didn't, because I had locked and loaded the moment that either one of you said the word morning. I was going to yell at the top of my lungs, "Good morning, Vietnam!" So be thankful.
I'm glad I did. Okay. I made the right choice.
I was
No,
so
I
ready.
wish that had happened.